Alright, match 3 on the play. Can I possibly keep this hand? This hand is keepable. If we get one more land, we can Seder Wayfinder into another land. Put that on the bottom. Hope to top deck a land. Spore Frog Beatdown plan. Conjurer's Bauble. I think this might be played in one land Spy. I'm not really sure exactly how that deck works. Something about milling me out infinitely. Alright, Abundant Growth into a tap land is pretty sweet for us. I wonder what this Conjurer's Bauble is about. They sacrifice it to draw a card, and then they preordain. Bottom and top for preordain, they found something they wanted. Island and pass. Alright, let's attack. Let's play ourselves a Core Skyfisher. Pick up an Abundant Growth. Get our beat down on. This is probably a combo deck. We want to win as quickly as possible. Brainstorm resolves. Evolving Wilds gets rid of the 2 cards they put on top. Preordain after that. Top and top for Preordain, so we need to be very afraid. Lead off with Seder Wayfinder. Find an Ash Barrens. Let's go ahead and play it. Play our Abundant Growth. Play our Fume Spitter. And do we want to sacrifice a Seder Wayfinder to up our clock? Yeah, that can probably wait. We can get back our Tortured Existence with Oromancer. So we know they have Preordain and Brainstorm and Ponder in a card that cycles. So this is very, very likely a combo deck. The question is, what is the combo? This could be the Vinestorm deck. And the Evolving Wilds is to go get the green mana when they need it. That's a deck that has a Storm card that searches up a bunch of lands in the hand and then discards them all to deal damage. Alright. Let's play Oromancer. Just in case we need to sacrifice during combat. Get our Tortured Existence. And we have lethal now. Let's see what our opponent will do about that. Alright, they play an island. And they pass. With us having lethal on board. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this. Assuming they're going to combo kill us, if they're not going to mill us out, that means they're going to burn us. And gaining some life with Golgari Brownscale might be useful. Alright, let's play Wayfinder, an additional thing to sacrifice to Carrion Feeder. Jungle Hollow. I could play Brownscale, so that way, even if they kill Carrion Feeder or Core Skyfisher, I guess if they kill Carrion Feeder, I don't have lethal. Although I could sacrifice things in response, but then they could have a bounce spell. I don't think there's any need for me to go for it. Oh, are they going to tap me down before combat? Giga Drowse. Okay. Yeah, this is the Vinestorm deck, I bet. This will be very interesting if it works. I'm going to tap down some of our permanents. Giga Drowse can also tap down opposing lands if they have a way to interact with the combo, such as counter magic. You Giga Drowse your opponent's land on the opponent's end step, and then when you untap, you're free to do whatever you want. Tap. Tap. Oh, I should have tapped that in response. That was dumb of me. Should I go ahead and put this back? Yeah, I probably should. I could have gained an extra 2 life. Hopefully that won't be relevant. Alright. They fall to 1. Gain a life from Jungle Hollow. And hope that we didn't need 2 more life to survive. Let's see what they do here. Gush, okay. There's the Metamorphose, so I expect this to add green plus red or green plus blue. Okay, there's the green. Alright, Sprouting Vines. Although they need to cast more spells first, don't they? Another Metamorphose, another Gush or something. Inner Fire. Another Metamorphose. Lotus Petal. Alright. Storm is fairly high right now. 5, okay. I wonder why it's showing us the storm count. Is it just because it's over a certain amount? Or is it because a card like Metamorphose or Lotus Petal triggered it? Because we haven't seen any storm cards from them yet, so it's kind of cheating for Magic Online to tell us what the storm count is. That alerts us to a storm win condition when we might not have known about it before. Another Inner Fire. And in response to the Inner Fire, they're going to cast Sprouting Vines, I assume? Tolarian Winds. Then Sprouting Vines. And they want to do it in this order so that they find a bunch of lands and then they can discard those lands to Tolarian Winds. Alright, Sprouting Vines is going to let them get a bunch of lands. Now you can see why they call this deck Vinestorm, because it uses Sprouting Vines, which is a storm card. Tolarian Winds discards all those lands. Inner Fire adds a ton of mana. So now they have 17 or 10 red mana plus blue plus 2 from Lotus Petals. Peer Through Depths, possibly still looking for their Carvex Torch. They go get a Gush. That lets them draw another 2 cards. If they only play a single Carvex Torch and it's stuck in the bottom of the deck, they might not be able to kill us. I'm not sure how many Carvex Torches it's correct for this Storm deck to run, though. Metamorphose. Looks like they need to find another Inner Fire, because they don't have enough mana right now to kill us. There's another Inner Fire, okay. That's 21. 22 mana, so they can't quite kill us. Unless they have another Inner Fire, and I think they've used them all, right? 1, 2, 3. No, they have 1 Inner Fire left. Metamorphose, okay. Brainstorm. Alright, they found their 4th Inner Fire. Do they also have the Carvex Torch? It's 30 mana, so even if we had gained 2 more life with Golgari Brownscale, that would not have been enough. And we get Carvex Torch for 29. Well, that was fun to watch go off. Let's hope that doesn't happen next game. Alright, so we want the hand disruption, and we do not want the creature disruption. So this will go out, this will go out, this will go out. Spore Frog, unfortunately, does not work against them. It only prevents combat damage. Those can get out. Ornamentor. And which of these cards do we want to leave in? I guess just an attacker. And we'll sideboard these out. Kusali Pridemage doesn't do anything against Lotus Petal because they don't play any of them until the turn they're going to win. Anything else we need to take out? No, I think this is good. Alright, on the play. We have a Duress, which is nice. Let's go ahead and keep. I'm going to go turn 1 Abundant Growth. And then the turn after that, we'll see. Probably Core Skyfisher. Conjure's Bauble, they can use to get back something that we make them discard with Duress. So if we make them discard Carvex Torch, they don't automatically lose, even if they only play 1 copy. However, if we get rid of a card with Mesmeric Fiend, and they don't have a way to kill Mesmeric Fiend, or counter it, or bounce it, then they can't get that back with Conjure's Bauble. So I think I'm going to save Fiend a few turns, try to catch them with Carvex Torch in hand and take it out. If they have a second torch, that won't be enough to win with a single Fiend, but if they only have 1 torch, and they don't sideboard in any creature, bounce, or removal, then that could be good for us. We'll play Satyr Wayfinder, we need the mana. Swamp, okay. put our Tortured Existence into the graveyard. We can go find it with Oromancer. Go ahead and bash. I would like to not Mesmeric Fiend them or Duress them if I can help it when they have mana up, because I don't want them to be able to Brainstorm in response and hide everything that's good. I want to be able to win as quickly as possible, so I think this is going to be the Core Skyfish or Carrion Feeder turn. We'll save our hand disruption whenever they tap out. Additionally, if we have our Carrion Feeder resolved when we Mesmeric Fiend, we can just sacrifice it in response to the trigger, and then they'll never get the card back no matter what. Alright, Brainstorm into Crack Evolving Wilds for some card filtering. Alright, they ponder. I feel safe holding our card disruption so far. I don't think they can go off on turn 3 without a very, very good draw. Maybe turn 4, though. Alright, I would like to Mesmeric Fiend this turn, even though they do have Brainstorm available in response, potentially. Who cares? Let's just go ahead and Mesmeric Fiend. And hope they don't have the second Brainstorm. Because if they do, they can hide their... they can hide their important spells from me. Okay, so I can get rid of something forever. What am I going to get rid of? A lot of good choices here. Last time they needed all 4 Inner Fire to win, so I kind of want to take Inner Fire. The Tolarian Winds is important as well. I think I'm just going to take an Inner Fire. Then I can bash. And as soon as they Brainstorm, their hand is kind of useless to me, since I don't know what cards they're going to put back and shuffle away. So I think I want to Abundant Growth this, see what I draw, and then a Golgari Rotfarm picking up something else. Alright, there's a Swamp. I kind of like this Duress now. Yeah, let's do Duress now. They can't possibly hide all their different spells. Everything I take out of their hand makes Tolarian Winds worse. If they only had one Brainstorm, I'd get rid of it possibly, so they can't just Brainstorm Evolving Wilds at the end of their turn and fix their hand. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to get rid of Lotus Petal. It could potentially slow them down the most out of any other thing. Adds to their storm count. Might make them be able to go off a turn earlier due to having the extra mana. They opt not to Brainstorm plus fetch it in the turn, so it seems like they're possibly saving their storm for Sprouting Vines. So we took their Lotus Petal, so this is their hand right now. Plus no unknown cards because they played in the land. Alright, we drew another Mesmeric Fiend, which is pretty incredible. Let's go ahead and lead with that. If we didn't draw that, we could always Oromancer back the Tortured Existence, and then on the following turn have Mesmeric Fiend. Assuming we drew a creature by then. Here they can Brainstorm, but they can't hide everything in response. They could Brainstorm twice, but even then, it's not likely they'd be able to. And I think here I want to get rid of Tolarian Winds, just because it's something they could potentially just do on their end step and get themselves out of having a very bad hand. Right now their hand is pretty bad and I want it to stay that way. Let's get rid of that. We get to attack. Alright, so now their hand is right here. Let's cast Vessel because we can. cast one of their brainstorms, putting back who knows what cards. And they fetch, so they have at least one of these cards left in their hand, but we don't know which. It could be more than one. Peer through depths. They get a Tolarian Winds back, okay. Ponder. So they have a Tolarian Winds and at least one of these 3 cards in hand. They chose to shuffle with Ponder, which is a good sign for us. And we drew a creature, which is good because we can win this turn, except we can't actually, because we can't play both these creatures, can we? Do we have enough mana? We need 7 mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, we only need 6 mana, right? We play Core Skyfisher. We pick up Abundant Growth. We play Forest, Abundant Growth, the Swamp. Yeah, there we go. Core Skyfisher. So now they have to Giga Drowse. Right now. Get ourselves a Tortured Existence. Make sure they let us attack first, and then we'll sacrifice those 2 creatures for lethal. Right, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and they concede. Game 3. Alright, well, we have an Augur of Skulls, and nothing else to interact. Is that good enough? Yeah, let's keep it. Lead off the tap land. Alright, get this Augur of Skulls down as quickly as possible. Then next turn, we can Duress plus Satyr Wayfinder if we play an Ash Barrens. They choose not to shuffle with Ponder. Go down to 4 cards. And now if they brainstorm in response, they go to 5 cards. I don't think they can keep them all from getting hit with Duress. So I think I'm casting Duress here. If they do have Brainstorm, obviously they can, well, they can keep their most important things from getting hit with Duress, but they're just going to let us have it. I'll take this Brainstorm. Manamorphose could also be a nice thing to hit, but them being able to go Brainstorm Evolving Wilds into turn to maybe shuffle away some extra lands or something is pretty good. And with all 4 Manamorphose being in the deck and them not needing all 4, I think I can just get rid of Brainstorm. Leaving them with Gush Gush Manamorphose. Play Plains over an Ash Barrens. We hit no lands. Ponder, okay. Looks like they brought in a Rolling Thunder as well, so they have more than 1 win condition if we manage to exile their Carevex Torch. They chose not to shuffle, and then they played a second Ponder. And they chose not to shuffle again. I think I need something better than this. More hand disruption. Alright. Could have also gained life there by playing the Jungle Hollow, but I can wait. They did not crack Evolving Wilds on Red Step, which is odd. Peer through depths. This is still their hand exactly. Inner Fire, okay. Get some land out of our deck. Oh my goodness. We have no clock at all, so our opponent has all the time in the world to kill us, and that's probably going to be what they do. Now they can Gush Gush. As soon as they find another island, they can Gush Gush, Inner Fire, Manamorphose, and potentially go off. And it looks like they're just going to gush, because I guess they can replay one of the islands they picked up at the first gush. That makes sense. Which they do. There's the second gush. Looks like they're going to go off this turn. Inner Fire. 10 mana. Manamorphose. Okay. You're going to need one more Inner Fire. Potentially. Well, at some point they'll definitely need it. And now they go Tolarian Winds. They might just draw nothing. They're only drawing 8 cards here. They could easily whiff. They had a lot of lands in hand. And they hadn't even cast a Sprouting Vines yet. Alright, Conjurer's Bauble. They're probably going to get back an Inner Fire. Or a Rolling Thunder. Inner Fire, okay, goes back into their deck. 7 mana, store count of 6, 8 cards in hand. Impulse, okay. They're still looking for something. Down to only 5 mana, they have to Inner Fire now. Or Manamorphose into Inner Fire. Lotus Petal. Brainstorm. Still looking for that Inner Fire. And they just pass the turn. I wonder if we'll still lose because our clock is so slow. I guess we'll find out. I'm still not getting back this brown scale. That's just not a winning proposition, I don't think. I did not mean to play that land before I saw what I got off the vessel. Mesmeric Fiend. There's a card. I could also go Vessel, searching for Tortured Existence, but I'd rather do this. Peer Through Depths, Preordain. Gush, the second Gush isn't going to be useful for 4 turns, though, so who cares about that? Let's just take a Preordain. Peer Through Depths is... can't find lands, and it's a little bit more restrictive. And I didn't mean to not attack there. It was a misclick. I thought I clicked on that. Missed the damage. Here, I think I'm just going to take the brown scale this time. If it's correct to take it this time, there's a good chance it was actually correct to take it an earlier time too, and I just was misplaying, but I feel like earlier I needed to be able to interact with them, and once I was able to interact with them and saw how slow they were going to win, that it was okay to take the Golgari brown scale as sort of a hedge bet. Peer Through Depths finds Manamorphose. Satyr Wayfinder. Gain another life. Flip over a Tortured Existence. I could also theoretically leave Satyr Wayfinder in hand so that when I do eventually find Tortured Existence, it's better. But I also like the increasing my clock. The Brainstorm. Mesmeric Fiend, there we go. Alright, this should be game. So I'm going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 7. And then I guess I'm only attacking for 6, so that's not lethal next turn. I don't have to make them go off this turn. Manamorphose is a free card. That's probably a good thing to get rid of. Everything else is too slow. This takes a Storm away for Sprouting Vines. Alright, don't quite have lethal. So they have 2 turns to go off. They can go off this turn or the turn after. Ponder, they choose to shuffle. Now they have these cards in hand. Except they might be putting up to 2 of them on top of their deck right now with Brainstorm. What do I think is more likely? Them getting a huge Rolling Thunder or them getting a Lotus Petal plus Giga Drowse? Lotus Petal plus Giga Drowse seems more likely. Lotus Petal plus Giga Drowse is only 2 cards. Additionally, them getting all that mana and being able to Rolling Thunder our board. If they're able to do that, they're most likely just able to kill us too. So, let's just do this. They gush and gush. This is their turn to win or lose. 5 mana, they have to Inner Fire, which they do. 12 mana. They probably have us killed here. Because they have, what, only 1 Inner Fire in the graveyard, which means they have 3 more in their handed deck. That's plenty of mana. Well, if we lose this game, it probably would have been correct. Maybe not correct, but it probably would have been better if we had taken the Golgari Brown Scale earlier and started the beatdown quicker, so they would have had fewer turns to win. That's only since we know now how the game ended up going and how slow they ended up being able to win. I think it was correct to be more scared of their hand and be trying to draw something more powerful than the Golgari Brown Scale. Alright, there's Inner Fire number 2. In response, Sprouting Vines. They get a bunch of lands out of their deck to go up to 21 mana. They need to have another Inner Fire before they can kill us, since we're at 25. Impulse, okay. Gotta find Inner Fire and Rolling Thunder or Karavex Torch. They have 5 cards left in deck. Most likely they've seen them all already. They cast another Inner Fire. They cast Lotus Petal. That's 27 mana. And we are dead if they have it. Yep, looks like they're paying X for Karavex Torch. Well, we're losing to the Vinestorm deck. It's hard to be too upset about that. Feel free to Google this deck, pick it up, try it out for yourself if you really like Storm decks. Warning, it's kind of inconsistent, but it looks like a ton of fun. Metagame might be right for it, I'm not really sure. In any case, it's interesting. We lost to it, so there's one data point. It has a 100% win rate when we've been going against it. And if that's not a good enough statistic for you, then I don't know what is. Alright, on to the next match.